Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. Now, today's video, we've got the Wild Rift Patch Notes 2.2a. So I'll be giving all my insights and opinions, obviously mainly on AD carries and all that sort of stuff. But I will be looking at obviously other champions, roles, what's going to be good in the meta, what's going to be bad in the meta, what changes there are, so on and so forth. If you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel. Got a lot more guides and content coming out very, very soon, which hopefully you'll be excited about. But without further ado, let's head into Wild Rift Patch Notes 2.2a. Wild Rift is full of mysteries, the Ancient Order of Stargazers, the Armadillo Rammus, and just what does honey fruit taste like? Well, welcome to Patch 2.2a. Be interesting to see what it actually tastes like. Wild Rift full of mysteries. One of the travelers is Rammus the Armadillo, who will be rolling his way into Wild Rift in a few days' time. And you got the Stargazers, answering some of the biggest unknown facing Wild Rift today, and a lot more other stuff. Awesome. So Rammus, new champion, coming to Wild Rift, going to be released in the 22nd of April, which is in 10 days' time from now, which is not too bad. He's a big, massive, tanky armor jungler. Sorry, I was going to say support for a second there. Could maybe be played support, who knows. But I think it's going to be pretty fun to play. You're going to be rolling around the map all the time using the twin dual stick control. So I think it'll be very, very fun to play, to be fair. Obviously, new skins. You got the Stargazer skins. Looks so cool. First skins that we're getting is like the first to Wild Rift skin line. So eventually this will be coming to PC League, but it's kind of cool that we're getting something coming first to Wild Rift. Got Camille, Soraka, and Twisted Fate. Then you got Molten Rammus and Sweeper Rammus, which is the football version of Rammus, which is kind of cool. All skins will be released throughout the patch. Future 2.2 skins will be released in further patches. Awesome. New accessories, pretty cool. Got some icons, a new emote, got a Pengu emote, recalls, baubles. I mean, I'm all for this. All for the little accessories that we can get. The Pengu emote looks really, really cool. I love Pengu, as some of you may know. I have a Pengu dab emote in my Twitch stream, so I'm all for Pengu emotes. Anything Pengu, I'm snatching up straight away. I love Pengu, to be fair, so pretty awesome there. Shout out relevant page in game for more information how to get them. Awesome. All accessories will be released throughout the patch. Awesome. New event, Stargazer. Celebrated launch the debut first to Wild Rift skin line. In-game event introduces you into the world of Stargazers. Complete mission to unlock blue motes accessories throughout the event, which runs until the end. One thing I have to say is that they are absolutely smashing it at the moment with events. Constantly, all the time. Every single time you log on to the game, there's new events, there's new things to do. You know, there's reasons to log on every single day and play the game, which is great. I mean, they're always keeping up to date on events, and hey, long may it continue. It's pretty awesome to see indeed. In testing, 120 FPS support, some new devices there for 120 FPS, OnePlus 9, OnePlus 9 Pro, etc, etc. Now the important part that you've all been waiting for, the champion changes. First up, we've got Alistar. For a tanky supportive champion, Alistar's dealing too much damage, particularly to turrets. Using Headbutt, interesting, to attack turrets. Did you know you could do that? Did you know you could do that, YouTube? You can use your Headbutt on turrets. Who knows? Most of the people probably didn't know about it, but who knows? Should be a bit more of a conscious choice. So nerfing damage by 5 early game, 5, 10, 15, 20. So not too much. And then nerfing the turret damage by pretty much half, to be fair. Yes, half. They're nerfing the turret damage by half. I mean, most of the people don't use headbutt on turrets. It's kind of a weird thing, to be honest. And to be fair, the damage on your second ability doesn't really do that much, to be honest. Alistar is still a super tanky support, will still be played, will still be 100% still be S tier. You do a little bit more damage, but that doesn't really mean much as support. It's not really the damage that makes Alistar strong, in my opinion. It's a big, massive frontline, the big, massive engages that he can do. Next up is Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is slightly underperforming for a while now, so we're reverting some of the nerfs he received last year. These changes, combined with the recent tank items updates, should give him a healthier place in the support roster. The rocket grab damage going up by 20 per level, and the overrides to slow duration's gone down from 1.5 to 1 second. If you didn't know, when you use overdrive, you get a big massive speed boost, and then after a while you get a slow duration, obviously you get slowed for a certain amount of duration. Used to be 1.5, now it's only 1 second, so it's not too bad. Problem with Blitzcrank at the moment is that because Alistar is such a strong pick at the moment, if you pick Blitzcrank, the enemy team just picks Alistar, and then you become pretty much useless. Because if Blitzcrank pulls in Alistar, then Alistar can just use his Pulverize, use his Headbutt, and you're in the, you're in the whole enemy team. If it becomes a case where more squishy supports get played, obviously you got Janna, Lux, things like that. But Janna does pretty well against Blitzcrank anyway. Lux, Lulu, things like that. You might see Blitzcrank come back in, but I don't think it's the changes that we need. So the problem with Blitzcrank is kind of the same as PC, is that he doesn't really have that much mana. You can only use like 2 or 3 hooks in lane, and then that's it. You're pretty much done. So you might see him here and there, but I don't think as much. So we'll see. Corki's at Melroot stops by the rift way too often, giving him a bit of a break between deliveries with the goal to give him and his opponents a bit of breathing room. So package gone up by 50 seconds on the arrival, so it will still spawn at 4 minutes when Dragon spawns, which is really, really good. But then after you obviously use the package, then it'll be another 150 seconds instead of 100 seconds. So, I mean, it's kind of came up a bit too often, to be honest. When I played Corki a bit, you felt like you were going back to base a lot, and obviously go in to get your package and then coming back. So it's kind of nice it's been delayed a little bit, so pretty interesting. Diona, let's see what they're doing with Diona. Diona's weak across the board, so we shifted some of the rank power from third ability into the second ability, alongside some general buffs. These changes will help her survive the laner phase and help and push her advantage when she gets ahead. So up in the health by 30 in the early game, which is really nice, especially for a laning phase. Her passive, after casting a spell, Diona grants 30 to 120 attack speed based on level for the next 3 attacks. So instead of having it on the third ability, the Lunar Rush, she now has it on her passive. That's a huge change. That is a huge, huge change. Now when you use your first ability, your second ability, your ultimate, your third ability, any one of them abilities now, Diona's going to get attack speed, instead of just using your Lunar Rush to get the attack speed. I think it's because there was a bug. I think I remember someone saying on Twitter there was a bug with it. So that's probably the reason why. But not only that, they're reducing the cooldown of the first ability. They're also majorly decreasing, sorry, I should say, the cooldown on the first ability. And then majorly decreasing the cooldown of the second ability to 8.5 seconds in the late game, which is pretty mental, to be honest. That's a crazy short cooldown. Doesn't count the ability haste and everything you'll be getting as well. So pretty nice changes. And obviously the ultimate as well. Ultimate damage has gone up by 25 with minimum damage, and the maximum damage gone up by 50 per level. And even the bonus AP has gone up by 5% minimum damage and 10% maximum damage. So pretty significant changes for Diona, to be honest. I mean, I don't see KATARINA here at all, so I don't think we're seeing KATARINA changes. So I think Diona does okay into KATARINA. I mean, especially with these changes as well. Her being able to get the attack speed and everything is kind of nice. The only thing is with Diona is that she's kind of a bit weak, I would say, in team fights to KATARINA. Because KATARINA can, dash around all over the place. Diona just dashes in and that's it. Once you dash in, then you're kind of stuck in the whole team. So if they have an Alistar or something, you just get CC'd, or, anyone like that, you just get CC'd and you just die straight away. But there should be being up more often is really, really nice, and we'll see what happens. Maybe Diona gets played a bit more. This also increases her jungle as well. Her jungle clear speed now is going to be insane with the passive now being on the passive and not on the third ability, which is pretty awesome. Dr. Mundo by Sunfire Ages. Mundo burned down entire jungle the enemy team. Mundo need time out. That is true. I mean, I was playing Mundo jungle on the stream and it was kind of easy to play, and it was just really resident sleeper, to be honest. You just clear the jungle, you do a bunch of stuff, and it was really, really easy. So nerfing attack damage by 6. They're nerfing the HP by 40 and the armor by 10. Kind of big changes, to be fair. Not only does this affect the jungle, this also probably affects the top lane Mundo as well. So it'd be kind of interesting. And also third ability, the duration is now not 5 seconds at all ranks, now 3, 3.5, 4, and 4.5. So kind of a bit like Lulu, you kind of want to know, you kind of need to know when to activate the ability now when you're going to auto attack. So it'd be pretty interesting. Galio, oh boy, I'm looking at this now. Thank God he is getting nerfed. Holy moly. Much like his iconic ultimate, Galio arrived with a bang and disrupted the meta significantly, returning back his damage across the board and shortening his Justice Punch range based on feedback that it felt a little too long. So, 40 health gone down. Awesome. Cooldown on the passive has now gone up by 0.5 and 1 second in late game, and the base damage in late game's gone up as well. Awesome. Winds of War, HP damage per AP ratio, 2% to 1.5%. Awesome. I mean, this ability was doing way too much damage in the first place. I was getting one shot left, right, and center. I probably still will be one shot left, right, and center by this ability, but maybe a bit less now. We'll see. Shield of Diona, which is his big massive taunt, getting a big massive nerf in terms of cooldown. The cooldown's going up by 3 seconds at every rank. Yeah, 3 seconds at every rank, and the AP ratio has gone down as well, which is good. This ability never should have done so much damage with the AP ratio anyway. And the Justice Punch range has gone down by quite a bit as well, by 0.75, which is quite a big range nerf, so we'll have to see what happens there. Overall, I mean, changes that need to be made for Galio. Galio was just dominating the whole scene. I mean, no changes to his ultimate, which I think is one of his main factors. He could just ultimate from pretty much anywhere on the map and kind of change the whole team fight. So nothing changed on that, but overall, you know, stats that needed to be nerfed anyway, and hopefully this will make him a little bit less than an S+ tier, but we'll have to wait and see. Leona. Leona's not quite shining as a crowd controlling support tank yet, so we're lowering the cooldown of her core lockdown combo. Awesome. The Shield of Daybreak, which is a point and click stun, going to 5 seconds at all rank, and the Zenith Blade has gone from 13, 12, 11, 10 to 12, 10, 8, 6 seconds. So 6 seconds, like in late game, is kind of crazy. So like every 6 seconds, you can use your EQ combo and just basically start jumping around the whole game. I mean, the whole team. Like, it's going to be kind of crazy, to be honest. Just going to be going in, use the Zenith Blade, 5 seconds later, go in again, use Zenith Blade. Like, that's kind of mental, to be honest. But I think the only problem with Leona right now is that she's a very single target focused support in terms of her combo and in terms of her crowd control. And at the moment, it's all to do, you know, the meta's all to do with team fights, big massive crowd control, you know, the Alistars, the Galio, the KATARINA damage, the Xayahs, Kai'Sa, you know, all these big massive team fight champions, which she only can work in team fights, but like I say, she's very single target focused. So I think you'll definitely see her a bit more for sure. She actually does pretty well into other tank supports as well, like Brom and Alistar. So we might see her, we might not see her. We'll have to see how the changes do. But she is still pretty tanky. She is still pretty strong. And this buff definitely helps her out a lot as well. Pantheon. We're happy with Pantheon's mini work from patch 2.2, but he still could use a few more tools in his arsenal. These adjustments help him maintain his ability to carry an early game lead into a W, which is what Pantheon is known for anyway. Pantheon is known for this early game aggression with his damage to be able to, you know, get an early lead. So 6 damage on attack damage. The 80 damage per level has gone up by quite a bit, actually, by a whole 1 per level. So kind of crazy. Like an extra 15 at max rank, extra 15 AD, which is not too bad. Obviously, this helps the early game a lot as well, which is pretty cool. And then the Comet Spear has gone up. Base damage has gone up by quite a bit. Charge damage has also gone up by quite a bit. AD ratio has gone up. And the critical strike bonus has gone up as well. Nice Pantheon changes, to be honest. Probably won't do much in terms of support Pantheon. This is mainly for like Baron Lane and Jungle Pantheon. But we'll have to see what happens with him. I don't think it will change too much, but we'll see. Shyvana being nerfed again. Shyvana's got all tankiness, high damage. She's a freaking dragon. In the absence of Davion, we're cutting down her damage and her health. So health's gone down by 40. Twin Bite has gone up in terms of cooldown. And the damage from Flame Breath has gone down as well. So even more Shyvana nerfs. I mean, Shyvana is kind of the champion that's like kind of weak in the early game. But if she's able to farm up and if she's able to do stuff, then it's completely fine, you know. She's able to get dragons. If she's able to farm up, she could be that late game carry. This kind of cuts her back on her early game a little bit, so you can kind of take advantage as an aggressive jungler. So if you're playing like Lee Sin or Wukong, you can kind of be a little bit more aggressive against Shyvana, and you can kind of win out them fights. Tristana changes. I know one person that'll be very, very excited about this one for sure if he is watching. We're cautiously buffing Tristana as she's not matching up to the rest of the marksman roster. So the attack damage per level has gone up by 1. So again, about 15 per level, about 15 at max rank now. And the cooldown of explosive charge has gone down to 13 seconds at max rank. Doesn't really do too much, to be honest. I think the problem with Tristana is that obviously on PC, she's very, very easy to play because it's a point and click play style. So you can point and click the explosive shot and always explosive charge, sorry, and then you can keep auto attacking that same target. On mobile, it's a little bit more difficult to auto attack the same target a number of times, so it's a little bit more difficult to play her, and her damage output's not that great. Obviously, in the mid and the late game, she's a super strong carry, but this might help her a little bit. You normally max E first, so you're going to be getting that 13-second cooldown a bit sooner. But I don't think this will be too much, to be honest. Maybe it'll buffer up a little bit, but not really too much, if I'm totally honest. Vi has been a popular and reliable pick in higher level games, on the stronger side in regular play. These changes allow her to keep her reliable tank patterns, but a slightly higher risk. 5 armor early, assault and battery cooldown has gone up by 10 seconds at all rank. I think Vi was a bit underrated, to be honest. I think people are kind of resident sleeping on Vi. I think she was a pretty good, champion to play. The assault and battery, the ultimate, lockdown CC, especially in team fights, and being able to build them tanky stats with her to, kind of carry the team fights was pretty strong. So, kind of, well, not really expected nerfs, I should say, but kind of nerfs that I think were kind of coming, but I think people are definitely resident sleeping on Vi quite a bit. But changes might not do that much. Obviously, assault and battery early game is kind of important, but the early armor doesn't really do that much, mainly for her early game clear, to be honest. Item changes. Infinity Orb is prime too much value for its costs. We're bumping up its price to delay its purchase in the snowballing games. The price has gone up by 300 for Infinity Orb. This, off the top of my head, this doesn't really affect many champions. Most like AP champions don't really build Infinity Orb until later on in the game, most of the time. Unless you do have that early lead, you can use Infinity Orb to kind of snowball your lead. But most of the time, you got Orianna that builds Haunting Guys. Aurelian the Soul doesn't really build that much. Katarina does build it. Sometimes is it maybe second or third item. Sometimes. Galio doesn't really build it at the moment. There are a few champions here and there. Akali doesn't build it until maybe third or fourth item, but it's definitely delays the power spike of Infinity Orb by delaying it by 300 gold. Again with Blades of the Ruin King before, not Blade of the Ruin King, with Trinity Force before. 300 gold is not that much, to be fair, in terms of going down or up, but it does make a bit of a difference. So we'll see. Sunfire Aegis will not be justly overpowered, except on Mundo. Lol. Sunfire Aegis performing a bit too well, taking down a notch to add some more first item choice for tanks. I totally agree with this. Mundo, Malphite, then big massive tanks can just build Sunfire Aegis, and it was doing way too much damage. So base damage has been lowered, and the bonus damage HP ratio has also been lowered, which is pretty awesome. Glorious Enchant, a glorious bug fix. Bug fix where the item cost displayed is 800. But the cost is 500. Okay, didn't even know that was a thing. Cool. Game system changes. In competitive play, we're seeing a lot of early grouping, making the laning phase almost non-existent in high-level play. This is part of our effort to incrementally release cosmetic changes. Okay, cool. So, during the first 4 minutes, previously 3 minutes, solo... brackets Baron lane, I love how they have to put that in, and mid lane turrets gain 90 bonus armor and magic resist. So now it's at the 4 minute mark. So this makes it even more crucial for the top laners to roam down for Dragon. The only way it could work is if you've got a minion wave that is stacking up, and you stack it up really, really well at the 4 minute mark, and you could take the turret down at 4 minutes. But it's a lot to take down after the 4 minute mark, and obviously at that point the dragon's already being taken, so you actually have less time now to push down the turret and to actually trade the first turret in the top lane for dragon. So not only does this affect competitive play, but it also affects solo queue as well, because sometimes you'll be seeing top laners kind of trading the turret for the dragon. But obviously this makes it a bit less viable now, because obviously the bonus armor and magic resist drops off at 4 minutes, which is when dragon spawns now. So a little bit interesting. Obviously they've buffed up the armor for 3, 4, and 5 champions, so you can't just stack a lane now as well. So we will, we'll have to see what happens with that one. And then we got the free champion rotation, which you can play all them champions, which that is it for the patch notes. No Katarina changes, no Evelyn changes, no AD carry changes really, except for Tristana. So I'm happy that Xayah didn't get nerfed, but I was kind of worried that maybe Xayah could have maybe gotten a hit. But overall, not that many changes. Obviously, we're not expecting that many changes anyway, because it is just a 2.2a. But overall, not too bad. I think Rammus will be a pretty cool addition. Got some nice cool skins. I think overall the changes to the champions are not too bad. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't see Evelyn or Katarina nerf, but hey ho, maybe next time. Maybe next time. But anyways, that is it for the patch notes rundown 2.2a. Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Have a good rest of the day. Peace.